C 90.1 FM.
Feel the vibe. Feel the vibe.
Feel the vibe.
Given the time, Karl, just tell us a bit about yourself being in the UK, why you're here, and what is the awareness that what is it that you're sharing?
Well, the big thing I come to the UK is because people are having a hard time accessing courthouses, and they're being occupied by the legal society. And this is what I try to explain to people all the time, is that it's a public building, and whenever the public goes there to try to access it, they're being denied access for whatever reason. The court clerks are stopping you, the clerks of the courts are stopping you, the judges, the magistrates, they're saying, no, you can't proceed. You're not following their legal procedures.
Why would somebody want to access a court building?
Well, for a tort, for a trespass, for a claim for a trespass, that somebody's done them wrong, that they believe somebody has done them wrong, and they have the right to bring that claim into the public view, so nobody else either gets harmed by the same individuals, or that they could get compensation for the trespass.
So, but they would say that this court is for court cases, and this is somebody from the public wanting to use that for their own use?
Well, like I try to get people to understand, the simplest way to do it is before you even think about going into a courthouse, the first thing you need to do is find the operations manager or the court clerk and write them a simple letter and just ask them, is this a public building? And that's it. Just ask them if this is a public building. And obviously they're going to write back yes. And then the next thing you could ask them is like, oh, okay, are you a public servant? And are the employees here at this courthouse public servants? Or is this a private institution? And they'll say they're public servants. And then the next sentence is, okay, then, as a member of the public, I'm going to be accessing this public building in the near future. Do you have any objections to the public coming in and using this courthouse for the public use? And obviously they'll say no. So then that's when you basically established that it's like when I went up to the Royal Courts of Justice, and it was out of hours. It was 6, 7 o'clock at night, and they were closed. And I knocked on the front door, and they opened the door. And the younger security guards had no idea what I was doing. And I said, I have to access a courtroom. I want to open court out of hours. And they said, come back between 10 o'clock and 10 o'clock and 4:30 tomorrow. I said, no, I have business with the courts, and the courts are open 365, 24/7 to the people. And they were like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So we just pushed our way through the front door, and they said, well, we're going to get head security down here. I said, that'd be the smartest thing you said so far tonight. The head security came down, and first he was on the phone with me from his office, and he said, what do you need? And I said, I need to open up a courtroom out of hours. And we have videotape of us going into the courthouse when it was closed. And when they brought us to the head security's office, you could see on the glass window, it said out of hours procedures, how to open up a courtroom out of hours. So he actually had a piece of white paper, it was printout of the rules of how to open up a court out of hours. And it's on my website. I think it's on the 3rd or 4th page of my website. It actually shows inside of the security booth in the biggest courthouse in the world, 6 miles of court hallways, saying how the people could open up a court out of hours. Because when I said that to the security guards at the front gate, I said, this is the Royal Courts of Justice, right? And they said, yeah, so this is the Queen's Court, right? They said, yeah, if the Queen arrived, would you give her a hard time to come in? They said, no. I said, the Queen sits as Queen at the pleasure of the people. She's our servant. You do know that, right? So I'm one of the people. This is the people's court. You're going to open up that courthouse because I have business out of hours. And like I said, they thought I was crazy, but the head security guard, worked with us, and he said that he'll call a magistrate. When the magistrate was going to be in the building around midnight, he said he'll have her process our paperwork for us, so we didn't have to stick around until midnight. So that was about 8 o'clock at night. I said, thank you very much, and as long as the court has a recording of the claim that we filed earlier tonight, so when we go to court first thing in the morning in Rugby Borough Council area up in Coventry, we won't be lying to the court. We'll be able to tell them, yes, we filed the claim in a proper manner, and everything's been signed, sealed, and paid for. So now we get open court down there in Rugby Borough Council. We don't want to lie about it.
Just excuse my ignorance, Karl. You said before we open the court maybe for an issue to make a claim of trespass.
Yeah, trespass. There's only two real wrongs that people could do.
But just to say, like, okay, you're going to the court in the evening, you're going to get them to open the court. What is it that you somebody would be getting a court to open after hours to do?
Most people know why courts are opened out of hours is when a police officer wants to obtain a search warrant when he pulls a vehicle off the side of the road and he wants to access the car, he opens up the court out of hours and a magistrate will issue out a warrant.
Okay.
So because it's an emergency. The only reason why we had to do it is because we had to appear in court on Friday the 13th and it was already Thursday the 12th, and when we appeared, we had to have it signed and paid for and stamped by the court clerk to move our claim into court on Friday, and it was too far of a drive. It was like 3-hour drive or 300 miles. I forgot how far Coventry is from London, but it was a long ride, and we could never make it back and forth in time. So we just told him, look, we just missed the courthouse by a couple of minutes. Do you mind opening it up? And he opened it up, and he said, fine, But your people are told that the courthouse is only open to you people from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's ridiculous. Yeah. It's the people's court. It's a public building. When I say that to people all the time, I said, this is a public building. Do you see what it says on that front door? It's public library, a public court, or a public park. What makes you think I'm not a member of the public? If it said the Queen's Court or the Queen's Castles or the Queen's Park and the Queen shows up at midnight, who's to tell the Queen she can't walk into that park at midnight? Who's going to be crazy enough to tell the Queen she can't access that building? She's the Queen. They say, oh, no, it's the Queen's Park and you can't come in out of hours. Oh, really? Who? I have a vested interest in it. Did I put money into it? Did the public, put 1 penny into this? If the public paid for that courthouse, if the public paid for that public building, 1 dime, 1 penny, they have a vested interest in it. They have every right to access it.
Now, people obviously here, for the most part, I mean, I don't know if the general may not be aware or not aware of that, hence why you're here bringing this awareness to them. Is this something that is hidden? It's
well, what
it
I see
is just for those who have done their research and who are in the know.
Yeah, but what the big thing is that people are trying to file paperwork into courthouses. They're trying to file a trespass against a banker with, like, say a simple thing. Everybody knows that. Well, you folks didn't know. If you YouTube mortgage burning parties, when people in the United States, we pay off our homes, we get our mortgage returned to us. We get the note returned to us, and there's actual mortgage burning parties. And you can find mortgage burning parties videos from back in the 1970s. And I asked these people if they had any idea what a mortgage burning party was. And they said they have no idea. I said, well, wait. Hey, Mark, hang on. We said to the people, I said, do you understand what a mortgage burning party is? And they said they don't know what a mortgage burning party is. And I said, when you pay off the note, when the debt is paid off, you get a copy. You actually get the original note returned to you. So that way it proves that the people that you're borrowing the money from actually were the holders of the note. So like this man that came today to help him, he had a financial corporation called Platform making a claim he owed $600K, and then he had J.P. Morgan Chase claiming they had a $600K note on the man's home. So the problem was, who should he pay? So we just simply went to court and said, who is the holder of the note? Let the holder of the note come forth so we could pay the true creditor, who we actually owe the money to. And then we said, when this note is paid off, like, we have the money right now, we'll pay the $600K off right now today if the bearer of the note comes forth before the court. And if the bearer of the note can't produce that note, then he's making a false claim into the court. He has no standing. He has no right here to say that we owe him a dime unless he's the holder of the original note. Now, who's the holder of the original note? And obviously the court wouldn't answer the other day. So obviously we can't go to high court for an answer. And these folks I brought here, I told them, I said, I don't know why you filed in high court, because it's a corporate court. It's not a public court. We went down to the Royal Courts of Justice the other day, and we talked to a court master, I don't remember his name, but on Thursday, and I asked him a simple question. I said, look, I know the answer in the United States. What's the answer here in England? The answer in the United States is, I know what the highest court in the United States of America is. What is the highest court here in England?